as soon as we start up.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 3, Episode 29, Fimi X8 SE 2020, and more updates. Marcus, how are you this evening?
Doing well, Bill. Got to go out and fly today. That's always a good day when you get to go out and fly, right?
Well, absolutely. You have to. I mean, you can't deny that a good day of fly. You know, it's like a bad day of fishing is better than a good day in the office or something like that. You know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, you know, got lots of updates here. But first, the very first thing I want to do is now tomorrow, the next 2 days are very special days in our household. Okay. Now I got to share the screen here, and I better get this picture up right. Okay. All right. Let me get this right here.
Hey, while you're doing that, I just want to note that Johnny Drone Flyer is mentioning that Ron Brown posted about the Parrot Anafi on woot.com for $359. That's a screaming deal, and I'm glad you took advantage of it.
Yes, that is a excellent deal. And if you can, by all means, do go ahead and take advantage of that. That's just absolutely fantastic. You know, if I had the funds right now, I would be there. Everything's going in slow motion right now here. So hang on.
I already own one, and I almost bought another one.
Well, I don't know if you saw Ron Levesque bought 3.
Oh, did he really? Wow.
Yeah. Now I don't know if he bought 3 from on the Woot site, but he.
Uh-oh, Bill, you've locked up on us. Yeah, folks, Bill is locked up here, so hopefully he'll get going here in a second. Yeah, so heck, I'll just talk a little bit about what I did. Hopefully, Bill will get back on here. I went out to a reservoir that I'd never flown at before. I took the 2018 version of the Fimi X8 SE, and I went out to Black Canyon Reservoir. And Sarah and I got out there, and boy, there was little to no shade. We went to the first spot. I thought, oh, this is a good spot. I can get out over the reservoir. I can chase some boats and do some of that stuff. And we got there, and this guy comes up in this big water tanker truck, and he backs in, and he looks at me, he goes, hey, he goes, I hope this doesn't bother you.
Boy, this thing is like slow as molasses here. I'm having technical. I'm having technical difficulties.
Yep. So I was just telling a story, Bill, while we were waiting.
All right. I'm trying to get back on here. So, man, I have no idea what's going on here. So,
yeah, you froze up there for a while, so I started telling my my Fimi story from today.
Well, you know, we also have. I may have to reboot here, so go ahead and tell everybody about. I guess Ron got a haircut.
He did, yes.
So if you want to go ahead and tell another story, I'm going to try to reboot here. So give me a minute. I do apologize for all this.
Okay. While Bill's rebooting, what we did was so we went out to Black Canyon Reservoir, and I was just psyched. I go, boy, we're gonna chase some boats around, and there were people out there on jet skis and ski boats and all kinds of stuff, and I even found this anyway. That first spot, this guy pulls in this big water tanker. He goes, I hope it won't bother you. He goes, we're doing some construction and I'm pumping water. Well, he fires up a pump, and there was no way. You couldn't hear yourself think. So we loaded up, and we found another spot to fly the drone, and I got all set up and got ready to go. And just about the time I'm ready to take off, I found the spot. It had a little tiny pier that I could walk out on there and stand there and fly the drone over the reservoir. And this guy comes up, and he starts fishing off of that pier. Well, it's a public place, so you know he had every right to be there, just as much as I did. But it was distracting, and it didn't work. Tried to fly anyway. I went up above, and it was just bright sunshine. You couldn't see the FPV screen. My phone got so hot that it dimmed, and I couldn't see. So I got a little bit of a flight in out at the reservoir, and Sarah and I packed it up, and we went out to Heroes Park and burned through another battery out there. Sounds like Bill is probably ready to go here. Bill,
Yes,
you ready?
I'm back, and I apologize for that. I don't know. I think Chrome took a dive for some reason, and I don't know why. Now, the next 2 days, as I was saying before, Chrome decided to crap out on me here, are special days in our household. Okay. Now, tomorrow, all right, tomorrow, this young lady who's next to me here in this picture, it's her birthday tomorrow, and rumor has it she's going to be 29 tomorrow. Okay, so very happy birthday to my beloved tomorrow, who turns 29. All right. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you can, either on my timeline, if you're friends with me, or in the Facebook group or the Facebook page, Build a Drone Reviewer, wish Valerie a happy birthday. I will get all those forwarded to her. I'm sure she will absolutely enjoy that. So if you guys get a chance, go ahead and do that. We're gonna be having a great day. Now, the day after,
hey, Valerie, happy birthday.
Thank you, Marcus. And I know she's watching it, and I know she heard it. So if you guys want to type it in the comments too, please feel free to do that. Now, I didn't get a picture up for this one, but on Wednesday, on Thursday, on the 9th, all right, our granddaughter, it's her first birthday, all right? So hopefully through the miracles of modern technology, we will get to wish her a happy birthday on video. So crossing my fingers that will all work out. So and it's really kind of hard for us because the biggest thing is, obviously with COVID-19, it's just put a damper into absolutely everything for everyone around the whole entire world. And this is one of those things. I mean, it just wasn't going to be possible right now. And with the uptick going on here in Florida and everything, it's like batten down the hatches. So that's what we're doing down here. So Eliana, but we call her Ellie, she's going to turn 1 on Thursday, and she's already starting to walk. And my daughter says she has her hands full already, and my son-in-law. So many good wishes to them in their endeavors coming up. That's all I have to say. It's just an awful lot there. All right, got some drone news that I want to share, and let me trying to get back. I have to get back to everything here. Okay, now there were a couple of drone near misses recently, and I know it was real interesting, and I had that article up, so I'm going to have to go get that here again. Now,
you get that article, Bill, and you want me to continue with my story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, you're getting that going. So I did get a little bit of flying in at Blacks Creek Reservoir, but it just got so ridiculous. My phone heated up, couldn't see FPV. We were standing there in the bright sunshine. There was all kinds of noise going on around us. So I landed the drone, and we went out to Heroes Park. And I hadn't been out there I haven't flown there because of this COVID thing. Just haven't been out there in several months. And oh my gosh, a lot of changes, a lot of construction going on out there. But one of the coolest things I did is Sarah was walking around the perimeter of the park. So I chased her down with the drone, and I demonstrated the 3x zoom on Sarah. I zoomed right in. She didn't think it was nearly as funny as I did.
Yeah, I can imagine. If I'd have done something like that with Valerie, I would not want to have to deal with the repercussions afterwards, so to speak. So, but yeah, I got our thing here now. And this is from Drone XL. I had 2 great articles. I mean, how often within a week's time, and these were both captured on video, believe it or not. These drone near misses, and it's just like, wow, when you see these things, it kind of comes to the forefront. You really kind of got to stop and think here. Now, this first one that I'm going to show you was over in Oklahoma, and you could see right here. You can see the outline of the drone and a helicopter right here, and there's an actual video from the news group. Now, hey, put this on his channel, and I'm going to go ahead and play this clip here.
That looked like an Inspire, Bill. Just the silhouette.
Yeah, I think it was.
Boy, that's interesting. That almost had to be purposeful, didn't it?
Yeah.
So because that pretty much, yeah, he got in the prop wash there and it blew it down. But that looks a lot like an Inspire, which makes me think typically that's a professional, right? So that's
that has to be professional. I mean, you figure with the amount of volume of money to get an Inspire, yeah, definitely.
It was interesting to see it when it got in the prop wash of the chopper.
Yeah, I mean, and the other one was a little different. It's a near miss between a Phantom drone and a small airplane, and you can tell right here. This is the view from the. Let's go ahead. There's an 8-second clip here that I'm going to play. This is not much. It happens real quickly here. So I'm going to go ahead and play that again.
That one is almost like, gosh, that's coming from behind the drone. You just wonder if you're that drone operator and that plane was going really fast. I don't know how high. It looked like he was pretty high. He may have been above legal height there, Bill. It was hard to say.
Yeah, and that, and with these, and I wanted to bring this up and talk about this here for a minute because, here we are, we spent, I had Brendan Schulman on about remote ID, and there's obviously, this is a case in point where it's needed. All right. There's no question about that. All right. And then you have a couple of, let's call them situations here. And it's because of situations like this that the FAA is going to say, well, you know what? It looks to us like there are more irresponsible than responsible drone operators out there, which isn't the case. And this is the way it's going to be, and we're done with it. You know what I'm saying, Marcus?
Bill, can I put this into perspective, though? Because we just had an incident that happened here in Idaho just 2 days ago. And it was up by Coeur d'Alene on Lake Pend Oreille. 2 aircraft, a Piper and a float plane, collided with each other over the lake. And sadly, tragically, it killed all aboard. 8 people lost their lives, and they're trying to get them out of the lake now and all that, recover their bodies. But my point is this: so these are licensed aircraft, and an incident happened. You know what? If we put enough drones in the air, there are going to be incidents that will happen, right? These were 2 aircraft, I presume, following all the rules. I mean, I don't know. One aircraft was flying over, the other was a float plane. I assume he was either taking off or landing. I don't know, but a terrible tragedy. Close calls like this, if there's enough people in the air, it's probably going to happen no matter what we do, whether there is remote ID or whatever there is. Well, what do you think, Bill?
Yeah, I do. I agree. It is going to happen. But what I think happened up in Idaho was just a real tragedy and just a tragic, set of circumstances here. Now we don't know any of the cases with both of these here, but it sure looks like with the incident with the police helicopter, it sure looks like that was on purpose. Like there was some kind of intent there.
It wasn't because I mean, we just don't know the circumstances.
Right. We don't know, so we can't really.
Was it a news organization? because if it was an Inspire, clearly that's 90% chance that's a professional that knows all the rules and should know everything. So as you said, it would sure be interesting to know the circumstances.
And the same with the other one too. You know, we don't know his altitude at the time, but it sure looks like it's more than 400 feet. So it's like, you know, I think the big takeaway from this, and I don't want to spend too much more time on it. I think the big takeaway is, you know, make sure, guys, make sure you're following the rules. Okay, that's all. That's it. Because, you know, in my groups, and you guys, and I know a lot of you guys are members of my groups out there, and I tell you what, you guys make these groups great to be admins of, you know, an admin of, and I know Marcus is admin on several of them, so is Ron, you know, and they know you guys are great on these groups. But one of the rules that I have in here in all those groups is FAA UAS rules apply. All right, you know, and I have a link to what they are, because, you know, I just don't state what they are. You guys click on the link and you know what they are, and it's in there. I mean, that's just the way it is. All right. And if you break those rules, you know, there's no questions asked. I take your video down. And if you put a second one up, you're gone from the group. I mean, that's my policy. You get one strike and that's it. So, but be that as it may. All right. We're going to kind of move.
Well, Bill, I wanted to touch on one more point. So as drone pilots, one of our biggest tools is our ears and listening. I'm telling you, I don't know about you, Bill, but the minute I hear an aircraft engine, my head's on a swivel, looking around. Where the heck is that guy coming from? Where's he going? You know, fortunately, we have ADS-B on the new Mavic Air 2. I know Mike DeCurcio, Philly Drone Life, just posted a video the other day where he had showed it ADS-B. He was flying his Mavic Air 2, and a helicopter went by. And literally, you're watching that picture of ADS-B on his screen. He exploded out the map, and you could hear the helicopter going by. And I know Mike, his head was on a swivel. He was, not only was he depending on that ADS-B, but he was looking for that aircraft. He knew where that aircraft was, and he knew where his drone was to avoid any kind of an issue. And that, I believe, is one of the best tools we have. Initially, our ears, and secondly, our eyes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'll get off my soapbox.
You know, the next topic I want to talk about here, and I'm going to bring up the article. You know, there was a great article on Drone DJ, DVI Mavic Air 2 guide. Should it be your next drone? Well, no. That's the wrong article. I want to make sure I get the right article. Now, I came across this and I said, you know what? This is actually a pretty good article, and I think it's worthy that we spend a few minutes on it. Is the Mavic Air 2 the best drone for you? Not necessarily. And let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen on this. Now, you know,
it is the best drone for you.
Marcus is already answering the question. You know, I love this. Okay. You know, not necessarily. Now, the thrust of the article really kind of talks about it from the standpoint of, okay, you know, most people that get this, and I know we're making, you know, this is not a hard and fast rule or anything. Most people that get this drone, and Marcus, I think, would agree with me, are hobbyists like us. All right. We're not professional videographers, photographers. You know, we're not in doing real estate or commercial. We're not doing Part 107 work with this, okay? We're doing it for our enjoyment, making our videos, or you know, just doing it for fun, or like Marcus and I and Ron do, do some tutorials on them and do some instructional videos on them to get people aware of things. All right, you know, but you know that's basically what this article talks about right here, and it says higher end cinematic work. Now, you know. Again, and then what's the first drone that they show? An Inspire. All right. Well, you know, yeah, that's true. But you know, there's also, you know, he also points out the Evo 2, which is legit here.
Can I give you a counterpoint on that one, Bill?
Go for it.
So I get that cinematic work, but I'll bet you there are some situations that little Mavic Air 2, you could get into places that you would never get that Inspire into.
Oh, I agree. I
Just
agree. And then, and then they bring up, something that's really kind of like chomping at my bit right now, Scotty O2. I knew this was buyer's remorse was going to hit sooner or later. And I know, and I won't say that Marcus or Ron have been fueling that with their videos at all, not at all. So, there are some options out there, but I agree with Marcus in terms of, there are a lot of things that this Mavic Air 2 is perfect for. Okay. It's smaller than the Mavic 2, and it's bigger than the Mini. All right. And it does have what I'll call partial obstacle avoidance on it. It does have a lot of the capabilities and features that you find on the Mavic 2, quite a few of them, but not in a Mavic 2 type of price. So, all in all, it's hard for me, and I know like Marcus too, like if you were to go out and you want to grab a drone and you're running out, probably 9 times out of 10 you'll grab your Mavic Air 2, okay? Because it's convenient, it's easy to use, and also that runtime, okay? I don't know about you, Marcus, but you know what? The most frustrating thing for me was the first time I flew to the Skyway Bridge down here in Tampa, all right? And it's a gorgeous site, all right? It's a windy day, and it ate up so much battery. By the time that I got there, I barely had 30 seconds of being able to capture the bridge, and then I had to flip around and head back because I timed it, and I knew how much battery I hit that point. It wasn't beeping or anything, but I knew when I hit a certain percentage, I needed to come back. But see, with the Mavic Air 2, you have that luxury in that. You have that extra battery life, and a lot of that's due because of the weight and physical characteristics of
it. The other big deal is the range on that thing. I mean, in fact, it will you were talking about how long a battery life it has, which it does, but range-wise, you can outfly the battery range-wise, which is just tremendous. So, it gives you the peace of mind of knowing that wherever you go, and if you're in an urban environment with Wi-Fi and things like that, you're always going to have a good strong signal and a good FPV signal, and that's hard to put a price on. That's what makes that one of the best drones out there right now.
It really does. It really does. I wanted to take a commercial timeout. It's not really a commercial timeout. I neglected to greet people tonight, and and something I always like to do, and we're gonna get taken care of right now. Hot Rod in Daytona, Greg Pittman, Jaybird Drone, John Spezio, Johnny Drone Flyer, Steve Fox, Age Ranger, David Reynolds, Mikey is in the house. Mike Roche is here tonight. Let's see who else here. Lauren is here, of course, and Brian's here. True Drone Reviews. John Az is here. Just go ahead. Oh, my beautiful wife is watching tonight. Ian Fleming's here. Ridge Flyer 32. And I think we got it here. So I wanted to make sure I covered everybody here tonight. And thanks again for watching. And I don't know if you guys saw, but I'm knocking on the door for 10,000 subscribers. It's going to happen probably within the next month and a half or so. We're going to have a incredible celebration here when we do that. We're going to hit that. And I'm going to have a couple of great giveaways. You're going to get a chance to win some great prizes, okay? And no, nobody is getting this hat, okay? I just want to let everybody know that. My Idaho Quadcopters hat, nobody is getting it. This is mine, all right? So, it's like I just want to be real clear about that, okay? If you're getting anything, it will, not because, I would, it's a one of a kind, folks, all right? It's one of those things, it's not. It's like some of those prized possessions that I have. It's not going anywhere. All right. It's just like try and take my Phantom 4 Pro V 2.0 away from me. Okay. It's the same kind of thing. But we're going to have a lot of fun when that hits. So stay tuned for all that. Also, this is just a little bit of a commercial interlude here. All right. I also got out my six-wheel drive sand buggy yesterday. and did some filming with it. And I'll tell you what, I had a blast, and I'm going to be putting a video together. Should probably get out this weekend. You know, I mounted my Osmo Action. I used, believe it or not, you know, it's called a backpack clip, and I was able to mount my Osmo Action to the backpack clip and get it on there. And I also use a GPS bicycle speedometer to measure how fast this went. So be looking forward to that. That's coming up. All right. Now we're gonna hit the main topic here. All right. And you know, one of the things I had been, you know, I can't tell you how frustrating it's been down here in Florida. Okay. It's been one of two things here lately. The heat index has approached in some days 110 plus down here. All right. And let me tell you, all right, you know, it's not dry heat. You know, if you've been down in Florida in the summertime before, you know it's muggy down here. And I mean, it's like when you open the door to the garage, you can feel the mugginess, all right? It hits you right away. And the other thing it's been, besides that, Bill from Metro Drones, thank you so much. Appreciate that. The other thing, it has been windy. When I say I'm not just talking about 5 or 10 mile an hour winds, I'm talking about 20, 25, 30, 35 mile an hour winds. You know, I was just telling Marcus in the pre-show, I said, you know, 7 o'clock in the morning, 7 to 8, it's probably okay to get up and fly. Not a lot of people are up then, including me, all right? I have a tendency to sleep till about 7:30, 8 o'clock. But even if I get up, I'm groggy. But after 8 o'clock, the winds start to pick up. And I'll tell you what, an hour later, it's just too windy. And UAV Forecast, well, for the most part, it's a good app, and I thought it predicted the winds correctly. It sucks at predicting the wind. Okay, I'm just gonna tell it like it is as far as that's concerned. What I want to do is we're gonna start this clip out. All right, I'm gonna show you a clip from my adventure yesterday in flying. All right, now it was quite an adventure that I had. And what I was doing was I was testing the horizon. Now, there was another update. Fimi had another update. It was for the camera, for the Fimi X8 SE 2020, and it was also for the gimbal, because apparently there was some people were getting this with the gimbal. So supposedly corrections were made. Now, I did a gimbal calibration, and I did the axis thing ahead of time. And I found out I undid what I'd done before, reset everything there. Marcus, it was straight as an arrow, okay? Straight as an arrow. So I did my gimbal calibration, and we went outside. Now, I thought it was going to be okay to fly, all right? I really did. I didn't think the wind was too bad. I was looking at UAV Forecast, which, you know, now I know better, all right? UAV Forecast, it's not the best here. Now we're going to watch. This is just going to be a few brief seconds of this clip here, because I don't want to give away what because this is going to be my video that's coming out. But it's kind of like a teaser here. So we're just going to watch the first few seconds of this. Now look at the tree over there. Now, more importantly, watch the drone here. We get to this point. Now look at it. Okay, this is the wind that's messing with the drone here, all right? Normally, I like to let it loiter over at this point, and it's all over the place here, all right?
Hey, no, so that was just just a quick question. That was an auto takeoff?
Yes.
So one of the things with the Fimi is when it takes off on an auto takeoff, it goes up to 13.5 feet. I mean, precisely 13.5 feet. So I was looking at your telemetry there, and it was going up and down. So what that tells me is that wind blowing by it was messing with the barometer in the drone.
Mm-hmm. Of that, I have absolutely no doubt, Marcus. I mean, it just thoroughly, you know. In fact, you know, and what I'm going to share with everybody, you know, like I said, I'm getting my video together, and it should be coming out tomorrow night. You know, it was a very abbreviated flight, but be that as it may, you know, I went out, and my purpose was to test the horizon, and you guys can see the results in the video. One of the other things today that I did was I did something. All right. Now, you know, I went out and I took a look at my order status from the good folks with Banggood. All right. And it still showed processing and all this stuff. And I said, you know what? All right, we're gonna make a decision here. Decision's been made. Your order has been canceled. All right. I canceled the order. Now they begged for me not to cancel. I mean, as much as Banggood could beg you, okay, they tempted me with 400 points, Marcus. 400 points.
$4.
Okay. $4. I mean, I was on the precipice. I didn't know what to do. I had to ask Valerie. Yeah, that didn't happen. Okay. So here's what I did. He goes to me. This chat was fantastic, and I wanted to share this with everybody tonight. Okay. You know, I just enjoy engaging them because you don't know what you're going to get each time you talk to one of their customer service reps. Okay. So, you know, we expect to have it in stock in 9 days. And I'm like, okay. All right. I said, all right. He said, would you like to order something else? And I go, okay. And I wanted to really test him on this one. I said, okay, I'm going to order a 2018 Fimi X8 SE in black. Can you get me one? And there was this, it was almost a 3-minute pause before he even replied back in the chat. And I'm like, where is he? Where did he go to? Did I get it? He said, can you get me the number out there? Well, unfortunately, Banggood didn't have any 2018 Fimi X8 SEs in stock. So whether even a white one. So that was out of the question. So then I asked him, I said, you know, let's go ahead and cancel. And he said, you sure you want to cancel? I said, yes. I said, so then it canceled. I got the email. You know, that's all been taken care of. So, you know, it just got to the point. I mean, what I have my Fimi. All right. You know, this was just, you know, if I had gotten it, you know, good, I'd have sold it for sure. But, you know, at this point, you know, I'd rather have that money back. I mean, there's a whole lot of things I can do with that money. So I just decided to go ahead and just say, I'm done with it. All right. So that got canceled today.
Hey, Bill, I don't want to interrupt here, but I just saw an interesting question in the chat. Winfred C. is asking if your neighbors ever complain about you flying the drone from your backyard.
No, actually, they don't. Both of the neighbors that I have on either side of me, you know, if anybody's going to complain, it'll be either one of them. None of them ever have, because what I do is when I get up to altitude, all right, I do turn the drone around, and then when I fly out, I'm flying out over the back of our property. So I never really fly over their property. And like when I'm coming back from that corner end of the lake, all right, I always, that route, it's always over the water, and then the area of land that hits is right where our house is. So so I've never had any issues with them, and they've never said anything, really. Now, you know, conversely speaking, when my first few drone flights, first 2 or 3 months, I decided to do it out in the front. Okay. I got a lot of flack for that. So I said, you know what? I'm just limiting it to the backyard. All right. We're just going to go from there. Go for it.
Well, we got another question in the chat here that's interesting. Hubson Choice is saying, hey guys, did you approach your affiliate managers? They are fantastic, with a question mark. So he's asking, let me tell you. Yeah, so that was one of the first things I did is I hit, you know, when they were late, it was probably a month late on that Fimi X8 SE. So I got a hold of my affiliate manager and I said, hey, have you got any pull? You know, I said, I'm not asking you for a free drone. I've already paid for it. Can you just send me the drone that I paid for? Those affiliate managers, I believe, and you tell me if you see any different, Bill, they have zero pull. They have no pull with anybody on anything. So yeah, I would say that's kind of a bust, expecting those.
I agree 100%. Well, in fact, I don't know if you got the email, but the one that we had, I think her name was Pauline. Okay, this is interesting. All right, because I'm sure they have the, you know, names we can't even pronounce. So they pick an English name and they go with it. And I think the last one we had was Pauline. Pauline is not I don't know about it for you, but I got an email. Pauline is no longer my my affiliate manager. I have somebody else now, and welcome, welcome. If you need any questions, here's my email address, all that kind of good stuff. I mean, it's just, but you know what? I have to say this. Their affiliate managers, they will get back to you. If you email them, they do get back to you.
Yeah. But they don't know anything more about those orders than anybody. And they don't, I just don't think that there's anything that they can do for you with regard to an order. So, Bill, to your point, mine is still, I ordered mine on April 4th, and it's still out there in process. So, who knows if and when it'll ever ship. I'm just going to leave that order there. If it ships, it ships. I suppose 3 months from now, if I still didn't have it, would I cancel the order? Yeah, probably, because by that time, you're probably just never going to get it then, right? But it is an interesting situation. I'm fortunate enough that I already have the 2018 version, so I am not in as big of a hurry as somebody else that ordered it, that maybe it's their only drone, otherwise might be more anxious to get that thing. So, and the other question was, Mike Armedia said, why do people use Banggood? All I hear about is problems. Mike, you're absolutely right. But I'll tell you why. I bought that Fimi X8 SE for $347. That's why. And the thing is, I already knew how Banggood was. Yes, it's still frustrating, but really almost the blame is on me then, because I knew how they are. And because it's such a good buy, it's worth it to me to wait. So I'm just waiting. I may bitch about it on screen here, but yeah, I'm just going to wait. And if it shows up, it shows up.
Well, I saw Lauren had a question here too, and he said, why don't I fly somewhere else? I mean, that's always a good point. And normally I do. There are some other places that I fly. But right now with COVID-19, it's like, okay, the police are out and about down here, and they do enforce a lot of this stuff. In fact, where I went to the soccer park yesterday, where Valerie and I, took out the RC car, he was there. Now, had I been flying my drone, I think it would have been a different story. He probably would have said something to me, but because I was driving my car around, he wasn't saying anything. So, there's a lot of instances right now where, they're chasing people away from parks. There's police tape out over these places and these areas around here. I mean, I live in a heavily urban area, Lauren, and for me to get over to, and even the beaches right now, they're closing the beaches down. So there's not really a lot of options in terms of places for me to fly. So at this point, it's just, and which is fine. I do have that gorgeous lake behind me in that backyard. And, the thing that really is in my favor is I'm familiar with it. I know exactly, I could tell you almost to the foot how far it is to the end of the lake right behind my house, and then diagonally where that is over there as well too. So, there's some comfort areas that I know of regarding this. So that kind of does help as well. Now, one of the other things that I've been seeing in the group regarding this was, now I did see a post today, and I wanted to try to bring that up. It's real interesting because somebody had posted in the group today that you could go ahead and order yours from Banggood, and that they would get it to you within 24 hours. And, I'm sorry, I just had to laugh at this one because, well, he said apparently, I think he said he lived in India. I wasn't 100% sure, but I wanted to go ahead and bring this up here. This came up to the top. Yeah, Banggood.
That begs a question, Bill. Now, when you ordered your second one through not the U.S. warehouse like we did our first ones, and I did, but you ordered it from the Chinese warehouse. Net, how long did it take you to get that one? A week and a half?
Yeah, I'm going to say from start to finish, probably about 14 days.
Yeah, so about 2 weeks. So it's important that we make that distinction. That if you do want one from Banggood, you're going to pay a little bit more for it. But if you order it from the Chinese warehouse, and why the U.S. warehouse is different, who knows?
Yeah. Now, you can see right here, and this is in my group. He said, Banggood is now providing 24 hours delivery. You will get your drone in only 24 hours. Use the coupon code here, discount $50. you know, and I let this fly here, but you know, there's.
I called bullpucky on that one, Bill.
Yeah, I do too. You know, there's quite a few people who are regulars in the group from China to UK in 24 hours. Dream on, Buttercup. You know, and then there's some. Yeah, there's Newman laughing like crazy right there.
Let me tell you what's going on with that guy, Bill. Scroll back up. He's trying to get affiliate sales, right? Does he have his link in there? Yeah,
oh, yeah.
So he is purposely lying to people to get affiliate sales. That's what that is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, because it's just, yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. Now, one of the other things, though, is what's real easy. Now, this was actually pretty funny, and this is the other one I wanted to share. Would you buy from Banggood again? Post your GIF, picture, music, video answer. No text, please. It's all been said already. So, yeah, there were several good ones here. And let's go ahead. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, Bill. I have an answer for that, but I'd love to hear your answer. Would you?
My answer from that, at this point, you know what? I would look at AliExpress before I would look at Banggood.
Here's what I'll say. If I had another choice, absolutely. But if it was like this Fimi X8 SE, where by far the best deal was on Banggood, and I was patient enough to wait, you know, knowing how they do, yeah, I probably would. All things being equal, no, but you know, there are always special situations, and I learned a long time ago never to say never.
Well, that's true. You know, you do make a good point with that, and it's like, you know, in this instance, you know, this was the only game in town. You know, this was the only place where you could actually go out and go ahead and order this. I mean, nobody else was selling the Fimi X8 SE 2020. And for the price, I mean, it was a no-brainer. So, I mean, you know, if it's the only game in town, you have to go with it. But then as time got along, you know, people found out AliExpress had them, okay, which was good, all right? And now we know B&H Photo has them. Now with B&H Photo, you know, expect, you know, you're gonna go ahead and pay the price with B&H Photo. I mean, you know, that's just the way it is with them. And I know Sam got his through B&H Photo, and he's real happy. And Sam put out a great video. And Sam, I did watch your video, and I left you a comment on it. That was very good. You know, the one thing I want to say, and the thing that has impressed me, one of the things that's really impressed me about the Fimi X8 SE 2020 has been the color profile on it. Is it comes out of the box, Marcus. Okay, not talking, you know, not touching anything, not talking brightness, contrast, you know, colors, not throwing LUTs on there, nothing. As it comes out of the box, all right, it's fantastic. I can't say enough about it.
Well, of course, I haven't seen the 2020 version myself, but I can tell you the 2018 version, while it's no Mavic 2 or Mavic Air 2, it is a very, very fine camera on there, and it looks good. And yeah, I was like the camera, and I know 2020 is supposed to be better. Hey, I wanted to mention Jamrock is asking a question up there. If I think Banggood will start shipping on the 10th of July. Jamrock, if I knew that, I could make $1 million. No, Banggood, it's a mystery. Nobody knows when they ship. So
yeah, well, you know, that's what I kept. You know, Banggood has put out so many dates regarding shipping this. It hasn't been funny. I mean, right. and you know. And we'll also do this case in point, you know, from our good friends at GearBest, okay? All right, and Marcus and I know about this with the Xeno too, all right? They put out so many dates. It was like, you know, you started doing one of these, you started falling asleep because, you know, it's just like, you know, it's the boy crying wolf all the time. And it's the same instance here. And let me tell you this, folks, all right? These people that are telling you these dates, these customer service representatives, all right? They're wrong. You know what? They're just looking at a calendar. They're doing this, and they're saying, "Okay, that date looks good." They don't know.
They don't know. They got
They don't get. You know what? As much as you think you're getting information from some of these, sometimes, okay, I'm going to say this: 9 times out of 10, what you're getting from them, it's not accurate information. All right.
So, Bill, I brought this up yesterday on DroneNation. So, one of the things that I got to thinking about this whole process with Banggood. You remember when they first advertised that drone? They were advertising it with Fimi Care. You could buy the drone and you could get it with Fimi Care, but you had to get on a wait list for that. Now, conversely, you could order from the U.S. warehouse and you'd get your order in right now. So, of course, that's what we all did. But later on, it has been posted in your forum. People were saying that they have spoken with Fimi, and Fimi says that their only authorized reseller is AliExpress, not Banggood. How could Banggood have been offering Fimi Care? It's just weird.
I know. You know, I did see that, and here's another case in point. Okay, now you know one of the other things that I'm going to start doing, and I've talked to Ron and Marcus about this too. Is I'm exploring. Back in the day, I was into RC planes. Okay, and I mean I'm talking about this has been way before drones. All right, way before drones ever entered my life. All right. Well, I'm going to get into RC planes again, but RC gliders. All right. And the best place to get them, unfortunately, is through Banggood. Okay. And the best prices are, unfortunately, through Banggood. All right. Which is, you know, but right now, listen to this. All right. The one that I want is on sale. All right. And gliders are cheap compared to drones. Okay. And even by the time you get a transmitter and you get your receiver and everything hooked up. And even if you want to buy, say, a run cam and put it on there yourself to get some footage on there, you're probably not going to spend more than $350, $400, which is, you know, comparatively in terms of what we're dealing here with drones, that's a good thing. All right. But right now, the drones that I want, or not the drone, but the gliders that I want, the power gliders that I want, all right, none of them. It says we can't. Shipping options not available to the United States right now from Banggood. All right, it's like, okay. So I did some digging, and guess what? I can buy them over on AliExpress, and they'll ship them to me. There's no problem over there. So, and that's what, and you know, it's so Banggood is so what you get from them, you have to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, really. That's am I right, Marcus?
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, anything you ever order from them, just think that you're not going to see it for months. And if you need it sooner than that, don't order from Banggood. That would be the best way to describe that.
You know, Stephen Ewing just put up here, and this is a real good comment too. It's so bad here in Ireland. You cannot buy replacement drone batteries from Amazon, etc. They won't ship them to Ireland. Good grief, Stephen! I didn't know how bad you had that. That's just that's insane. You know, that's just insanity, Marcus.
Yeah, although it's difficult to get just a battery shipped to you here as well. Just a battery sometimes are very hard to get a hold of because they don't like to air freight them. It's weird. They'll ship if the battery is with the drone.
Yeah,
they'll ship it. But if it's just a battery by itself, and you know, I don't pretend to understand all those regulations, but.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of funny. You know, one of the other things that I wanted to kind of talk about tonight was, you know, I wanted to kind of follow up, you know, Ron today, and I tell you what, you know, it's super tempting. You know, and with my money I get back from my Fimi X8 SE 2020, I may do that. Now, Marcus, and if you could post that link to Woot for the Anafi in there. You know, Ron
I'll find it. I don't. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry, Bill. Go ahead.
No. And this is kind of what I want to wrap things up with. Ron said, and this is what, you know, we have a group chat, and a lot of times during the day, we'll put something out there, just some drone news, just to let people know. Well, Ron let us know today that Woot has refurbished Parrot Anafis for $359. Okay. And, it's just like to see that was just absolutely, number one, it's a fantastic deal. Number two, it's just like, for that kind of price, what Ron said, you can't get a better drone right now.
I found it. Post the link.
Awesome. See, it just, and I got to say this, guys, it's, if you can do that deal, do it. I mean, there's just, you will get an incredible drone for that price. It really is. I mean, coming off of, what we learned about the new Parrot, the Anafi USA and everything, it's kind of rekindled things. And, getting a refurbished unit is at a price like that, that's a steal. I mean, how much, what's retail on a new one right now, Marcus?
Well, so $699 is retail for a new Parrot Anafi, and $359, and it's a refurb. But what you need to understand is often what a refurb is it's somebody bought a new drone, they decided they didn't like it, they sent it back. So it can't be sold as new, but it is essentially a new drone. So yeah, I mean, both Anafi, the Anafi that I have and the one that Ron has, we both bought them refurbed on Amazon. And I'm trying to remember, I think we paid, oh gosh, $450 or $425, something like that. I remember thinking that was a great deal. $359 for that Parrot Anafi. That is a feature-rich drone with an amazing 4K camera on it. And yes, it will shoot in HDR. The only downside to the Anafi is it is range limited in the sense that the FPV signal isn't quite as strong as you'd like. Pardon me. Particularly in urban areas where you have a lot of Wi-Fi interference, you will not lose the control signal, but you will lose the FPV signal sometimes. Now, the other day I had it out. I had the Parrot Anafi out at Lucky Peak Reservoir, and I went out over 1 kilometer with it, and it was fine. So
because you didn't have any interference,
right,
yeah. So I can, I wanted to make sure that I let everybody know about this. And Ron also posted too, and I put that up there. That the Parrot Disco Glider is in the same kind of price range. I think $355 per what Ron just said. So that's out there on Woot too. So
let me just name them off, Bill. $355 for the Disco drone.
Okay.
$359.99 for the Anafi. But now here's another great drone, and I would have jumped on this, but it doesn't have the Sky controller with it. The Parrot Bebop 2 is $143.99.
That's incredible.
Yeah, if you already had a Sky controller, wow, that is an awesome drone. Brian Singleton, I don't know if he's still in, but he loaned me his, and I had it for about a month or so. And it is just a phenomenal piece. Electronic image stabilization. If you look at the picture of that drone, you don't see any kind of gimbal on there, but it has EIS, perfectly stable video. It's the damnedest thing you've ever seen. It's amazing.
For 143. I mean, it's a shame that it doesn't have the controller, but for that kind of a price, I mean, and I got to say this, if that money comes back, because that's about what I'm getting back from Banggood, that may just seal the deal for me. I'll tell you that right now. That's just too good. I mean, it really is. Well, and the other thing here too is this, I want to let everybody know, because you probably hear a lot of stuff going on with COVID-19 in Florida and everything. And I will say this, it's bad down here. And the reason it's bad down here, and we get to see a lot more than what everybody does. Valerie and I go out. We go out once a week and do takeout from one of our Portillo's. If you guys know what a Portillo's is, restaurant, and they've started in Chicago. Fantastic place. Okay, we do that once a week. That's our quote unquote time out. All right. Well, you go past a lot of these places that have outdoor seating and bars and restaurants and stuff. they're packed. And I mean, they're wall to wall with people inside there. Okay. No social distancing going on inside there. All right. It's an easy answer why cases are starting to go up. And then you go out and you look, they show film from people on the beaches during the day there, and there's hundreds and hundreds of people on the beaches here. So it's not rocket science why our numbers are going up here in Florida. But the thing is, okay, and for people that have, who are high risk factors, okay, if, the elderly, people who, have, hit, high blood pressure, diabetes, over in their 60s. I mean, and that includes me. They're telling you, you want to lay low while this is going around right now. So, it's like, it's the smart thing to do here, folks. And that because of that, it still limits us with what we can do. So, we're still, because we had some cabin fever. So we went out yesterday. I took my RC buggy out and we did some driving around with that. And then we did something different. We stopped at Panda Express and got some takeout and brought that home as well. So we kind of had 2 days out. And here's the thing, Marcus, I've only got gas in my truck. The last time I got gas was March. Okay.
Right.
All right. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. Well, enough. I was digressing there. So, guys, thanks for a great show tonight. Marcus, you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah. Well, everybody be careful. This COVID-19 thing, I look at it. We're in more danger than we ever were because people are out and about again, and there's way more cases out there. So everybody, please be careful. Wear your mask in public. It's not politics, it's science. That mask is going to stop you from getting it, or more importantly, if you're a carrier, it's going to stop somebody else from getting it. So that's important. So everybody stay safe. But if you get a chance, get out there and fly your drone. If you can get out there where you're social distancing, you're in a park, or you're someplace where you're not near people, get that drone out and fly it. It'll put a big smile on your face.
Marcus, I echo everything that you said. You said exactly, and I'm looking at some of the comments from people down here as well too. Right. Marcus is 100% right. It isn't political. Wear a mask. Dear God in heaven, how, it doesn't take, what you got, but between here, everybody's got one of them. It's not, when we go through the drive-through, our masks are on. When I get my food handed from me, I have a glove on. All right. And then when we're done, I put the card in my back seat because I take it home, and then I get some bleach spray and I bleach my card when I get home. And, as soon as I'm done with the order, I got hand sanitizer and I'm putting hand sanitizer. I mean, it's just like again, this isn't rocket science. Okay. There's some known things that will kill the virus. One thing I want to say before I close, and it was one of the funniest things that I've heard of, people are saying, they were cautioning people because a lot of areas didn't have fireworks. Now, there's a reason fireworks are legal in the state of Florida, Marcus. You know what that is? They're used when you buy your fireworks, you have to sign a waiver that you're using them to rid your yard of varmints and pests.
Well, that would do it.
I mean, yeah, well, you ought to see our dog, okay? Our poor dog. It's like we turn the volume up on the TV so, the fireworks aren't bothering her, but sometimes it still catches her. And she wasn't getting a rest, so we had to give her some pills to help her relax that night. It was a rough night for her. I mean, I hate that. And what 10 o'clock, 10:30, I'm ready for bed, and it's just like boom, boom, boom all over the place. So anyway, I'm digressing too much. Go ahead.
Hey, we need to mention the Philly and Ron show. They're probably starting up right now.
Yeah, Philly and Ron are starting right now, so we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. I want to thank everybody for joining. If you get a chance, either on my timeline or Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group or page, wish Valerie a happy birthday, and I'll pass all those on to her. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. Marcus, thank you for a great show, as always. And remember, It's a great day to fly, even if it is windy. Okay. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your evening. And Philly Drone and Ron Show is coming up.